Review.
Swinging through the air and pounding bad guys to a pulp are two of the things Spider-Man does best, and in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, these activities come in 4 different flavors: Amazing, Ultimate, 2099, and Noir. Each Spidey is quick and powerful, allowing you to deftly evade your enemies and string together brutal combos. At its best, Shattered Dimensions captures the energy and excitement of the web-slinging superhero. However, there are some issues that can bring the action back down to earth. Occasional locomotion snags and a creeping sense of repetition put a kink in Spidey's web, and the Noir levels are a bit too gimmicky for their own good. Yet the excellent art design goes a long way towards smoothing out these wrinkles, and in the end, Shattered Dimensions proves itself a very entertaining adventure.
Whoa, what the heck was that? Okay.
The story begins with the shattering of a powerful magical artifact. As the walls of reality begin to crumble, Spider-Men across 4 different dimensions must hunt down the shards of the artifact under the guidance of the mysterious Madame Web. Her disembodied voice gives our heroes plenty of opportunities to crack wise, not that they need any encouragement, and each Spidey has a distinct personality that helps each level feel unique. Bantering with villains opens up more opportunity for humor, and along with some genuinely funny jokes, there are a lot of enjoyable pop culture references and nods to Spider-Man canon. Still, the dialogue sometimes tilts too much towards the cliché, and there are certain times, especially boss fights, when Spidey or Madame Web repeat the same quip with alarming frequency. Fortunately, those instances are rare, and the dialogue generally does a great job of capturing Spider-Man's signature mix of determination and impertinence.
Looking for this, webhead?
When it comes to letting you do the things that a spider can, Shattered Dimensions does an impressive job. In addition to running and jumping, web zipping and web swinging are your primary modes of locomotion. Most areas are littered with well-marked locations that you can quickly zip to, and most spaces allow you to web swing whenever you want, regardless of whether or not you're surrounded by tall buildings. For the majority of the game, you feel like you can move around with the freedom and speed of Spider-Man, and it's exhilarating. There are some instances, though, when movement can be problematic. Sometimes the level design prevents you from using certain abilities, and it's not always clear when this restriction kicks in. Crawling on walls is a clever and often essential ability, but turning corners and maneuvering onto ceilings can cause camera problems. And occasionally you may simply have trouble steering Spider-Man through the air or initiating a web swing when you want to. These moments of imperfection are frustrating, but they are vastly overshadowed by the many, many moments of electrifying superhero fun. For all the fun you can have moving around, there's also plenty to enjoy in the realm of combat. You start with a fairly basic moveset and expand it throughout the game by spending Spider Essence that you earn by defeating enemies and completing the mildly addictive level-specific challenges. New attacks, throws, counters, and combos beef up your arsenal to impressive levels, and it's a lot of fun to flex your pugilistic power. Enemies vary between dimensions and levels, keeping you on your toes, and the various bosses usually require you to figure out the best way to beat them, or just wait for a hint from Madame Web. Taking down a big bad is satisfying even when the fight mechanics aren't particularly clever, and the first-person punching sequences offer a nice bit of variety.
The more you hit me, the more you feed my rage!
Between Amazing, Ultimate, 2099, and Noir, there is a substantial amount of variety in Shattered Dimensions. The hard-hitting web powers of Amazing contrast nicely with the lashing tentacles of Ultimate. Both Ultimate and 2099 feature a heightened combat mode that you can trigger to do extra damage and slow down time, respectively. These variants work well because they are relatively subtle. The solid core action remains very similar across Amazing, Ultimate, and 2099. Noir is a different story. Rather than going in webs blazing, Spidey must crawl through the shadows and stealthily eliminate his enemies almost all the time. Silently picking apart a patrol is satisfying, as are some of the vicious silent takedowns. Yet the Noir stealth gimmick grows tired after a while, and your relative fragility becomes frustrating. Noir drags down the brisk pace set by the other dimensions, and anyone who enjoyed last year's standout superhero game, Batman Arkham Asylum, is likely to look at Noir as a shameless, not-so-successful imitation of that game's stellar stealth. But if you're gonna steal, steal from the best, and the Noir dimension definitely has some sneaky appeal, part of which is fueled by the excellent art design that brings every universe to life in a unique and vibrant way. The lively visual and the gameplay variety both help keep Shattered Dimensions moving along at a good pace, and you'll likely finish just shy of the 10-hour mark having enjoyed your journey. After all, it's a lot of fun to feel like a superhero, and Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions creates this feeling very well. Small frustrations aside, this is not only a great Spider-Man game, it's an entertaining action game that anyone with a penchant for superpowers can enjoy.
Is that a cartoon pig?